guys, Lori Cramer here.
Hello and welcome back to Rugby Connection presents The Final Whistle. Now, this week's guest has been absolutely tearing it up for both Queensland and the Waratahs in Super Rugby W. She will likely be one of the faces of the Wallaroos in this year's World Cup. And after that, she's going to be an Exeter Chief. It is the Dreadlock Warrior. She says we have to keep calling her that. It's Lori Cramer. Lori, thank you so much for coming on. How are you getting on?
Hello. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Today was the last day of winter here in Australia. So stoked. I've got my bikinis on already. Went for a swim somewhere. So I'm excited. We've just come off the end of the Laurier Rally series with the Wallaroos and had a training last night. So heaps of footy going on, which is exciting. So things are great.
Yeah, and who doesn't love playing footy as you call it?
Yeah. Why? What do you call it? Rugby. Sorry.
Rugby. Just rugby. Yeah.
Honestly, in Australia, you say footy, you're like, yeah, play footy, but then you got to be specific. Doesn't mean soccer though. If you say football, it doesn't mean soccer. Soccer means soccer, but you could mean league, union, or AFL.
Oh God.
It's a different language. I know English is confusing. Anyway, rugby.
Yes, I have got family in Queensland, and the cousins now have the Aussie accents. They're like, "Oh, Murray, you play footy?" I'm like, "I don't play football." And they're like, "No, rugby." I was like, "Right, okay." So.
Yeah, it's really super confusing, but yeah, rugby. We'll call it rugby just for you.
Just for me, thank you. First question, we ask all our guests this: what actually got you into rugby in the first place?
What got me into rugby? Honestly, just so I did my ACL playing soccer. I used to be a soccer player. I got my legs cleaned up and tore my ACL in my knee. And then honestly, I was probably like 12 months on the dot. And one of my friends that I used to play soccer with, she was just playing in this random sevens tournament. It was in the Kings and Queens Cup in Brisbane. And she was playing for PNG. They're like, "Oh, we need another player, like come down and play." And like I'd played a bit of touch football before, so I had like the skills for it. So she's like, "Come and play." And I was like, "Okay." So she gave me a quick like 5-minute drill on how to tackle somebody. And I was like, we're playing against like the Cook Islands and like Samoa and Tonga. So like I'm talking these are some big women that I was playing against. So you want to kind of have your techers on point when you're going against the big girls. But yeah, I just ran around with some of the PNG girls from Brisbane, and then they played club at UQ. So that was kind of it. There was no turning back. I went to 15s training and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. This is fun. And that was it. And I've been playing rugby ever since.
You could call it footy if you want. It feels natural. I know you're trying to
rugby. Yeah.
But you did do the kick in as well. Now we have seen some. If you've not seen Rugby Bricks, you're part of Rugby Bricks as well, and you've worked very closely with the man behind all that.
Yeah, Peter Breen, Pistol Pete, he likes to refer to himself as. Hence the little after he kicks a goal. But Pete was our Wallaroos backs coach. 2019 when I first joined. So yeah, he was one of the first people to kind of come up to me and say, "Hey, like you, me, T, like let's go and actually have a kick and break this all down and really he gets super nerdy with everything that he does." So for him to like break it down, he's going, "What do you think about? Or what are you aiming for?" And I was like, "Fuck it. Oh, sorry." I was like, "Okay, yeah, great." I was going to say it's going to be a long hour or something if I'm not allowed to swear. Anyway, yeah. So he's like, "Oh, like what are you thinking about?" And I was like, "Man, to be honest, I just hit it." So yeah, he's been huge for me in my technique and I guess getting nerdy and actually understanding why I kick the ball like I do. So yeah, he's great though, Pete. He just has some really good content. So
I do want to ask you about your kicking technique though, with the
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It's just I don't know. That's one of those things. I'm like, I just do it because it just feels natural. But then when I watch it, I'm like, well, fuck, it doesn't look natural. It looks odd. I don't know. I think like it kind of gives me momentum.
Maybe, yeah.
A bit of momentum, jazz hands, I swim into it. And then I have like this little, like a little rodeo arm that goes around the top. And then, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing real pretty about anything. There's nothing pretty about anything that I do in life, to be honest. So that's just part of what I do. Seems to go all right though. So yeah, exactly. I tried to get rid of it. I tried to just start with my hands next to my my legs like everyone else. But yeah, no, it just wasn't happening for me. So got to be an individual, right?
That's it. I think my kicking thing is very boring when I proper think about it. I just stand and just like I don't even just like wriggle around. I don't even wriggle about. Like as soon as I'm like, I know it's always 4 steps back and 3 to the side. That's always my rule. And then after that, I just kind of stand there and puff the chest out a little bit.
Puff the chest, yeah. You're like, surely the photographers are getting a photo at this point. So just, yeah, little flex. Yeah, nice.
Like 3-second pause, take the pictures, and I have to breathe out and let the gut hang out.
Yeah, suck it in. Yeah, no, I fix my hair. I pick my wedgie. I like wriggle around in my boots, and yeah, I've got it all going on when I'm kicking. So yeah. My pet hate is when I run back to the team after I've kicked, because I've got a funny little waddle when I run. It's almost like I've never stretched my hip flexors in my life. So that's what the bit I hate watching is when I like waddle back to my team after I've kicked. Anyway, I'm really good at derailing and talking shit. So if you've got some more important things to talk about.
Not at all. It's a natural conversation. That's the whole point of this. That's just the best thing about it. And we have got a question from another co-host of mine, from Jemma, who is an Exeter Chiefs fan and lives down in Devon. What's the thing you're looking forward to most for signing the Chiefs?
Oh, I'm excited to just the rugby over there. There you go. It looks it looks like a really good quality. And there's a lot of really good quality players that play over there. So yeah, I'm really excited for the experience of meeting really high caliber players and playing against high caliber players. And obviously like the cultural experience as well. I'm excited for. I've played a little bit in Japan. I played sevens in Japan for a couple of years there, so that was the best time of my life. I had such a great time, just being in that, away from home in a team environment, in another country. So, I'm kind of looking for another kind of experience like that, and I guess just to kind of shake it with some of the world's best. So, I want to see, how I shape up against some of those girls over there. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. I've kind of got a follow-up question though. What actually drew you to Exeter? Like, because obviously there's more than one team in the Premier 15s.
Yeah. So, well, to be honest, the coach, Susie just asked me. She slid into my DMs first.
Fair
that's honestly how it happened. So, one of my mates, Scotch. Oh, hang on. I'll say this properly, and you'll appreciate this. I've practiced.
Okay.
Airley Sinclair. There you go. I honestly, I played with her. Yeah, maybe I sounded a bit gross saying it, but Ailey. Anyway, I call her Scotch. I used to play with her at the Reds. So, yeah. So she's played there. Gabby Semp plays there. I played with both of those girls in Queensland. Yeah. So I think how it went, like Susie, maybe it was like, do you know like an outside back? And Scotch is like, oh yeah, Cramer, I know her from Australia. So she messaged me. I was like, would you be keen? I was like, oh my God, actually, I was like actually thinking about coming over, or post World Cup kind of trying something out. So yeah, and then she messaged me, and then that was it.
Perfect. That's like, it's kind of like how we got you on the show as well. As soon as Exeter put out, we've signed 3 internationals, and your name came up. I was like, I'm getting on the show. I'm not wasting any time.
Here I am. Yeah, you got your Exeter shirt on, so you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm all ready. I don't know if I'll ever actually see you play, just because It's like 8 hours drive, but never say never.
That's right. That's two. What? That's doable. Put a few podcasts on.
Yeah, of course.
8 hours. That's easy.
We've got another question, another one from a co-host from Cam. He's asked, could you talk about your volunteer work within schools? He's proper done this research on you anyway.
Yeah, stalker. Nah. Nah, nice Cam. Creepy. Nah, so at the moment, I work at Matraville Sports High. So I'm working at a high school. Obviously Australia, like we're not professionals yet. We were supposed to be at 2000. I know we were supposed to be at the end of 2019, but then Auntie Corona happened and just kind of shook things up a little bit, funding wise for Australian rugby. But anyway, so yeah, I'm still working at the moment. I'm working at a high school. I do a bit of teacher aid stuff. So I sit in like mainstream classrooms and just help out with kids that need help. Not that I can help them in a maths class or anything like that, but shit, I'll give it a go. Or I'll just quickly Google it for them. Like, I think they were doing, something to do with that. Like it was algebra and then like dividing or simplifying fractions. And I was like, fuck man, sorry, you're on your own. Like I got no idea. Sit there with my coloring in book. But yeah, I really enjoy working at the school. And I do a bit of rugby coaching there as well. But I was doing a little bit of disability support work as well, my time down here in Sydney. So keeping busy doing all that.
I did read, I did a little research myself, so you can say
I'm nervous, man. I don't know.
No,
I'm nervous what you found.
I've probably worded it wrong as well. When you were at Queensland, you worked with something to do with concrete, did you not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a concreter for a couple of years. So when I first left school, I got into youth work and I was there for like maybe 3 or 4, far out, couple years.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then when I got my contract in Japan, because I was to and from all the time, like I was probably there for like 8 weeks at a time. So I was there in Japan for 8 weeks and I was back and I was there and I was back. I couldn't really keep like a sturdy job. So I had to get heaps of casual hours. So I was doing lots of flooring with my friend. So just like demolition, like ripping up floors and laying like polished concrete and just being on my hands and knees grinding floors the whole time. And then I got another job being a concreter. So like like it's in a precast mold factory. So when you're like precast molds of like islands in the middle of the road or like those like car stoppers, like in car parks, like the little wheel stops so that you can't reverse into the car park, into the shop. You know what you run into when it's like a little concrete shape.
All right, okay.
I was baking shapes, basically a concrete chef. Anyway, so I worked in a little factory there and just shoveled concrete for 7 hours a day, and then went to training.
Oh my.
Pros and cons. I got really good hamstrings doing it. But I got to eat a lot. That was good.
Always a bonus.
Yeah. So there you go. I was a concrete for a couple of years there.
When you signed for Exeter, will that be your full-time job?
When I said what, sorry?
When you signed for Exeter, when you arrive down at Exeter, will that be your full-time job, or do you need to have?
I think it depends on how much money I want to have, or what kind of life I want to live. I think that we will have. The other girls do have another job, so from what Susie said. I think they can offer some coaching hours at the club, which I already currently do, a bit of rugby coaching. Otherwise, I could pick up a little part-time job at an old folks home, I think she said. Because I think on a travel visa, I think there's different jobs that you're allowed to have, but I think being working in an old folks home has just become like a bit of a high needs kind of area. So who knows? I'll do anything.
I just think you should be paid. I've been hammering this one all year. So yeah.
Well, I think I saw something recently about the Premier League comp over there, like getting a whole bunch more money. This is another thing, man. I'm not very good with like facts and stuff, but I remember seeing it and I remember like, oh, cool. But I don't know, for me, like, I don't know, I'm from kind of the era of you do it for the love of rugby and anything else is a bonus. I mean, obviously it would be really nice. Like I had a stint there for a while with the Aussie Sevens program. And so that was like my full-time job before the Olympics. And that was fun. Like that was really cool. Just waking up and having like the only thing you've got to worry about is rugby. But obviously that's it's a dream job. But I think for my lifetime, like my playing career, like it probably isn't something that I'll ever get to see. But like as in being a full-time professional in Australia. But obviously the girls coming through, they're gonna kill it and they're gonna get some good coin or get some good opportunities, which they should.
Yeah. Coin's important as well. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like if you want, I don't know, people, it's like, I don't know, people have a lot of, sorry.
I get what you're saying. So,
yeah, it's frustrating because especially, I mean, the best example that I can give is like think about the Aussie, like the women's sevens, the Australian women's sevens team, like they got full-time professionals, leading into the Olympics, and the style of footy that they were playing, like people fucking love watching them. Like think about how athletic, how physical, how skillful all of those women are. So I mean, the people that sit there and go, oh, chicks footy is like not as good to watch. Just like fuck off. Like you have no idea. These girls are. If that was my fault, like and even boys make those mistakes, and they're full-time professionals. So imagine how good we could be if we had every single second of every day to fine-tune our craft. So not complaining, not whinging, but I'm just saying like you can't compare the two because they're different.
I've had arguments with idiots, shall I say, over this about giving the girls full-time contract, even just in Scotland. And somebody commented like, money doesn't buy success. I was like, look at any other sport. Yes, it does.
Investment, man. It's like if you invest in something, like it's gonna it's
not gonna come off like straight away, but it will work. So
100%. There's heaps of examples, like even the NRLW over here, like the rugby league, even the AFL over here, like soccer, cricket, like we're gun at cricket, and they've had some of the biggest investment. The cricket girls they're on quite good money. So I don't know. It'll happen eventually. It will, but
100% it will. There. I did like the fact that you mentioned sevens because we have had 2 Aussie sevens from the girls on the show before.
Oh, so. Tegan and Maddie, yeah.
Yeah,
I've stalked you too, mate. Don't you worry about
that. I'm a good boy. You'll never find anything bad about me, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I've had the pleasure of being run over by both of those girls on the footy pitch. So yeah, they're weapons and they're like immensely competitive. So and they're obviously a lot of fun off the pitch as well. They're pretty fun girls. So yeah,
it's quite funny because I thought I could interview them together because they're sisters and we could try and do it differently. And even to answer a question, they were competitive half the time. Somebody just answer it. It's fine. I don't care who goes first.
Yeah, scissors, paper, rock. Just pick one. Yeah. No, they're good girls. They're a lot of fun, and obviously they're both killing it. So yeah, just naturally athletic. Pardon?
You're killing it as well, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit older, so I had a bit more time, but no, yeah, they're doing really well. I think that the Aussie Sevens girls are crushing it at the moment. They've really found their groove, and yeah, they're playing some good footy. So like the Wallaroos, like what we're about to.
Yeah, Wallaroos are underrated, but I don't want you to do the World Cup just because you're in the same group as Scotland.
Yeah, true. Sorry. No, yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
No, it'll be good. I mean, we're excited for the World Cup. So I think like we got absolutely pumped the other week. It was like 52-5 or something. But I honestly like as much as it's like it's a test match and we need to start like you need to win test matches and you need to win games. I think that it was like a huge kick in the ass for a lot of us that we probably needed. Just in regards to like preparing to and switching on, like, you know, like, you know, you can train all you want. And like, we had a really cruisy week, not cruisy, but like everything worked and everything, like training, everything was going nicely and all our plays looked great at training. And so there wasn't like any kind of moment where it was really sticky and really like, oh, like we're in like a shit place and you got to try and fight your way out of that shit place on the field and you got to figure it out on your own. You know, and then so when it went bad, I tried to say two words at once then. When it went bad on the field, or, you know, when it started to kind of look a little bit like a bigger mountain when they started to put a few tries on. Because, you know, the first 10 minutes of that Christchurch game, like we looked really good. We had a lot of possession. And we were really, like, we were in their 22, like we looked really nice. But I think when they popped a few tries and I started to think that some of the girls are like, oh shit, what's going wrong? Like couldn't figure it out. Was the second week of training before the Adelaide test, you know, training was really clunky and it was really uncomfortable. And it was because we just put each other under so much more pressure. Like, you know, shit didn't come off the way it was supposed to. So we had to figure it all out on the training pitch while it was happening. And, you know, like that feeling when you leave training, you're like, oh, that was shit. And this didn't happen. And fucking she dropped it and she was in my way and fucking blah. Like, you know, it was just like, that kind of happened for us in the second week. And I don't know, anyone that's out there that says that doesn't happen, like you're full of shit. Like that always happens in teams. And there's nothing wrong with that happening at all. Like it's like 30 people trying to all get on one page, and it's a really complex thing to do. So I think, you know, our performance on Saturday was a lot better because our training week was a lot more like we were a lot bit more uncomfortable and we were more challenged than when we were in the week before. And obviously, like, you know, coming from being like everyone's at work and we're, you know, and then having to switch on and be like, right, camp, training for a test match, professional, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, that was a big learning curve for us. So I'm glad it happened before the World Cup.
Yeah. And
that's what we needed. Yeah.
I mean, you did definitely improve. I did see massive improvements in the Adelaide test compared to the Christchurch one. And
yeah,
every game's a learning curve, even if you win.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
I think we started to kind of believe, like we'll try and play footy. Like I think when you get to a certain level, like you kind of, it's because everything's so like everything's kind of structured and like, right, when we get to an edge, this is what we do. And then when we get into the 22, this is what we do. And then when we're in this side of the field, we'll do this and this. And then, whereas I think sometimes we just need to play and feel confident to play what's in front of us and just use our instincts and, you know, have fun and just express ourselves how we feel like we want to. So, yeah, I think we felt a little bit more willing to do that in the Adelaide test, which obviously, you know, you can see like there was off-cuff things that we did that wasn't part of the plan, but, you know, it's all part of it. So, yeah. I can't wait. World Cup will be good.
I do prefer like off-the-cuff rugby.
Yeah.
I just think it's more natural, and then when something doesn't work, like go back to the game plan then.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be. Like you get a game plan for when it's not going well, or, you know, when you kind of, it's what you fall back on, right? That should be the second.
Exactly.
Shouldn't be the fall back on second.
Yeah. First.
Definitely.
If my coach hears that, I'm in so much trouble, but oh well.
That's it. Everyone's chipping and chasing. That's what's going on.
Yeah, go for a chip and chase. If it works, go for it. Don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I used to get in trouble for always trying to go for an interception, and it would never work, and I'd leave a big gap in the defence.
Yeah.
And my coach was like, stop doing it because it's not working. I was like, right, okay. And then the next play,
did you get one?
I got it.
Nice.
And I was like, right, that's stop now. I was like, I just stopped.
Did you get a try?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was dead after it, but yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, subbed.
Yeah, subbed. Cool.
Oh, how good. Nice. What position did you play?
I played everywhere. Genuinely, I played everywhere.
Nice.
When I was about 18, I was a fullback and outside centre. And then I got hurt. So Well, only last season it was my first senior level because I took like 5 years away from it.
Yeah, right.
And I was in the forwards. I played back row, I played second row.
You've been promoted.
I wouldn't say promoted. I know that
the game's won by the forwards.
The forwards do a lot of hard work that nobody gives credit for, but I would rather just be in the backs and just let me. I feel more comfortable there, so I'm just like, if I'm comfy, just let me stay there.
Yeah, I feel like the forwards will win or lose you the game, but the backs kind of decide by how much. I think is kind of how I look at it sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Harv and our co-host, we've got a big team behind us here. So he's asked, would you rather win 5 Premier 15s on the bounce with Exeter or the World Cup?
World Cup.
I thought, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is that naughty to say that? Isn't that what everyone would pick?
I would, yeah. He would say that. I'd probably know the answer, but it's just a fun question. So I was like,
yeah, nah, sorry. I'd pick the World Cup because, like, I don't know. I feel like that's once every 4. Yeah. Lock it in. World Cup. Yeah.
You're predominantly a fullback. So what is your dream back three, past and present? We've got you at fullback. Who's on your wings?
Oh, you might get me in trouble here.
How?
I don't know, because my friend, how about I just... Okay, I've never... Oh, this is tough. Okay, I've never played. So my mate Scott, she's playing 14, I think, at the moment for Exeter.
Yeah, Ellis Sinclair.
So I've seen, yeah. So she was a flanker though when I played with her at the Reds. So I'm going to lock in her on one wing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put her on one wing just because I love playing with Scotchy because, the end. So Scotch, myself, and I've never actually played. I've only ever played against Maya Stewart, who's one of my friends. And she just did her knee at the beginning of the year, so she's just returning back now. But Maya Stewart is an absolute weapon, and I've only ever had to play against her. I've never played with her because she obviously did her knee at the beginning of in pre-season for Waratahs this year. So I'm gonna say Scotch, myself, and Maya Stewart on the other edge.
Fair enough. And is that your present back three? You get a past as well.
Past?
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't have to have played with them or against them, just players you like.
Players I like. Obviously I'd love to play. I think Portia Woman would be unreal to play with.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of the bit of Farah Palmer and her playing over there. So I think Portia Woman would be fun to play with. I think she'd make you look really good.
Yeah.
But the problem is she'd get herself isolated from me a fair bit because she'd do all this damage and then I'd just be there trying to like I'm trying to like keep up to support her. So Portia Woman would be fun to play with. Oh gosh, this is hard.
To make you feel better, it's one of the easier questions I've got.
Oh, what? Okay. I would say I can't remember her name, but there was a winger for England and I watched her in the last World Cup. She's a big bird and I can't remember her name. And this is why I was nervous to answer because I feel shitty that I can't remember her name.
Winger for England. I don't like thinking.
That's why it's a hard question because I was like, fuck, I can't remember anyone's names. That's because I'm useless with names too. I'd be able to point at her though, like if I'd in a lineup, I'd be like, that's her.
It's gonna be one of those. If I ever come down and she's just happened to play, like her, I wanted her.
Yeah.
Right,
and I'd take a photo and I'd be like, mate, this is the chick I was telling you about in that photo.
Fair enough. Well,
yeah, sorry.
No, you're all good. I'll allow that as an answer. Have you got any
Maybe
advice?
just you can cut that out and just make that sound
Ah,
nice.
it's fine. It's natural. It's real. It's all staying in. It's all good. Do you have any advice for any young girls wanting to play rugby or footy for you?
Get a good hair tie. Because you need to lock down your hair, otherwise it's just, well, especially with dreadlocks, getting a good hair tie is the start. I'll just have fun. I don't know. I think we get to have fun, and you gotta love the shit stuff. If you love the shit stuff, learn to love the shitters, and everything's easy.
Yeah, that's good advice. I like that.
Yeah. And just, I don't know. I enjoy, I like it when people, especially when boys or when someone thinks like, oh, you can't do this. I mean, even some of the kids, even some of the boys at school, when they get a bit, I don't know, I get a lot of motivation, or a lot of like, I get a bit stubborn when people tell me that I can't do something, or when someone thinks that they're better. I like trying to prove them wrong. So I don't know, just love the shitters, and actions speak louder than words. So don't bite when people talk shit, just smash them.
I do
the bottom
both.
of a rock. No. Hey?
I bite back, but I will put you on your arse as well.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
you
weird.
got the ability to do both, yeah.
It's a weird feeling, because then they know that they've wound me up, and then I get the ball and I just run over them. I'm like, oh, okay.
Boom. Yeah, no, so I think I if I bite back, then I get too invested. So otherwise I don't want them I don't want people knowing that they've pissed me off. I'll just sit there and burn about it, and then wait till they get the ball next.
I'm very easy to piss off on a rugby pitch.
Oh, lovely.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I care.
What pisses you off? Oh yeah.
Everything. Everything pisses me off.
Passionate. He's a passionate man.
Like when I was a back, I hated when it was scrum time, because you're standing doing nothing.
Yeah.
I hate resetting scrums as a forward.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we not just push straight, get the ball out, and go?
Yeah, can we not just all do this properly and get along?
Lineouts piss me off. Like lineout calls piss me off.
Yeah. Sometimes I sit there, and even at like camp, everyone has a billion line out meetings, line out clarity sessions, and I'm like, surely it can't be that hard, right? Just, yes. Hey, throw me up, throw you up. Let's do a little trick and a little fake.
Difficult. I remember missing like 1 week of training, and then coming in for the game.
Changed it.
And they added like 3 different plays. Right, okay, we're doing this. And I'm like, what's that? And yeah, just simple, free-flowing rugby is my thing. I love it.
Just throw it in, throw someone up real big, or just throw it over. I don't know. Yeah. I just think I personally, I've only ever done really the line out in 7. So there's probably maybe a few forwards or people that are taking line outs that are watching this going, fuck, this bitch has no idea what she's talking about. But you're absolutely right. I don't. But surely it can't be that hard.
I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about half the time when it comes to scrummaging and lineouts and all that. I just, cool. I'm in this position.
Yeah.
I'll
be out here ready to drop it so you can scrum again. No.
Exactly. I'm not one of those that try and it's going to sound quite bad. I'm not one for trying to master the craft, especially at forwards.
Yeah.
Just because my confidence was rattled with it, so I was like, I don't want to do it. Like,
you're back at heart. You're back at heart. There you go.
I am. And even like when we're attacking with the ball and I get the ball, I run like a centre.
Yeah.
Because like a prop.
That's good.
A prop might just shut up and make a new phase. I don't want to do that. I'm like, no, I want to go. Let's go.
Yeah, nice. I think everyone should be like that. It's kind of like
though.
there were times where you see people play like in the NRL when it's like fifth and last, and then the next minute they're like throwing the ball around and everyone's trying to score.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun playing like that. Trying to score off every phase. Yeah, keeping it alive.
I would always try to score off every phase. That's just how I work, though. I don't know. I've never really proper thought about how my style is. It's just I know what I like, but I know what I don't like. It's just not everyone knows that. So we'll figure it out. We're going to go to a whole different part of the show now. It's getting to know Lori. So it's more personal. It's not. I used to say quick fire, but it doesn't need to be quick fire. So cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
What's your favourite post-match drink? Sorry.
Probably a cider because they're always just there. If it's sevens, if it's during summer, I'll have a beer. But yeah, I love lolly drinks as well. So I've just answered the 3 different things. Lock in a lolly drink, like a cruiser or something.
What's a lolly drink?
Like a cruiser, like a girl, like those like colourful sugar drinks. You know what I'm talking about? What do you have? What do you call them?
Like Alka Pops.
Okay, sure. Is that what you call them? Alka Pops. Is that like the lolly drinks? Like they're like heaps of fucking sugar.
Yeah, like bubblegum liqueur and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like something that's like tastes like a lolly, tastes like Gatorade almost, but it's got alcohol in it. It's heaps sugary. Tastes good.
I know why I'm confused. Because you call sweets lollies. That a lolly to us is like hard candy. Hard candy on a stick, and you lick it. That's a lolly.
Yeah, yeah, mate. We need a translator. We need fucking hell. Yeah, a lolly, like it tastes good. What's the next question? Jesus. Blocking beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Any specific beer or just beer in general?
Nah, just whatever's free.
Whatever's free.
Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos?
Nah, none. Clean skin. Rare breed these days, mate. Everyone's got tattoos. Would I get a tattoo? Is that your next question?
Yeah, would you get a tattoo? Yeah.
Yeah. I would. I don't love needles. Like when it comes to if physio is trying to dry needle me, it has to be like this is the last resort. Yeah. And then I'd get a dry needle. But I'd get a tattoo, but I don't know what I'd get. I used to always want to get when I was a kid growing up. I used to always want to get a tattoo of thongs on my feet. Flip-flops. Are you gonna call them flip-flops? Thongs? Not a thong.
I call flip-flops. A thong is something totally different.
Is a G-string. Yeah. Nah. Flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
I used to always want to get flip-flops tattooed on my feet because then I thought that'd get me out of having to wear shoes because I don't like wearing shoes. A bit of a bogan like that. Do you know what bogan means? Do I have to spell that out to you? Yeah.
I love it. It is, but that's so bizarre. But your reason why, but
it is. I haven't actually got thongs. I haven't got that tattooed yet, so luckily. Yeah. I reckon that look ugly, but yeah, yeah. I'm not going to rule it out. If we win the World Cup, I'll think about it. I'll get pluggers on my feet.
I kind of want them to happen now.
Yeah, me too. That'd be great.
I'm not doing any more tattoo bits though. I've done it with Jemma for the show, and I'm losing drastically.
Oh, really? I wouldn't make a tattoo bet. I'd be too scared.
Well, I think she's cancelled it anyway because of something that happened on my account. So I don't know. It might be called off. It might be still on. I don't know anymore.
We'll see. I want to ask more questions, but I don't as well.
Feel free. It's nothing bad. It's nothing too drastic.
Righto, go on. What is it?
So Jemma said if she was to get to 30,000 followers on TikTok before I got to 20,000 followers, I was to get the prop wife, which is her handle, tattooed
Yeah.
on me somewhere.
Yeah.
And if I was to beat her, so if I got 20,000 before she got to 30,000, she was going to get the podcast's slogan for the fans by the fans on her.
That's better. Yeah. How'd you go?
I got to 8,500 and then my account got banned.
Well, that's a forfeit. That's null. Tell Jemma that doesn't count. You've got to start again.
Jemma said that she's called it off. The last time I spoke to her, she said she called it off. So I was like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, call it off because you need to win this. Because I think getting that tattoo on her, that would be funny. You need to win, and I'll help you out. If you need followers, I can create some spam accounts and get everyone on board. Just let me know.
I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
What is your favorite film?
Oh, my favorite film. I love watching, and I don't know whether I'm saying this because I just watched it. I love watching Grease. Just because I'm a sucker for a sing along. I'm a sucker for a musical. What else? I like A Knight's Tale, just because Heath Ledger's a babe. R.I.P. Shrek always makes me laugh. I don't know why. I just love quoting Shrek.
Everyone records Shrek as a classic.
Yeah, it's like, and I think like whenever you watch it, there's always just something else in there that's like, like I never picked up on that. Anyway, that makes me laugh.
There is videos about that, like adult jokes and kids films that you might have missed growing up.
Yeah.
And you watch it and I'm like,
also,
go on then.
Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you. Have you watched the Brady Bunch as an adult?
I've never actually seen the Brady Bunch, like ever.
Oh. Well, it's naughty, man. Like there's some like Mrs. Brady and Mr. Brady, and even I think what is it, Jan, like the nanny, like they're naughty, man. Like they make some naughty jokes. Went over my head. I had no idea.
I'll definitely give it a watch though. There is some stuff.
Yeah.
There's even I can't remember what it was, but you sit and watch it. It's Disney films. Now my fiance loves Disney. And you go and watch them, and there's always like a brutal death right at the start, or something like proper traumatic has happened in these films.
Yeah.
Something are like, that's not for children.
Yeah. Like Bambi. Bambi is sad. It's like super sad.
Not even Bambi. There's a bit in Tarzan. Now, Tarzan's one of my favourite Disney films ever. Right at the end, the big fight scene with the hunter.
Okay.
He falls through the trees and the vine catches his neck. And you can quite clearly see by the lightning a silhouette of a man hanging. Like, this is a children's film.
Yeah, what are we doing?
It's only about 2 seconds.
They're doomed from the...
Genuinely,
really?
I'm like, yeah. So they're pushing and shoving each other. This has nothing to do with rugby, but it's a natural conversation, so it's all good. They're pushing and shoving, and he slips, and he falls. All you had to do was show him fall, and we could have got the gist that he's fallen to his death.
Yeah, got it. We didn't have to see it.
You don't see it hit him, but you see him caught, and like the light. It's just a black silhouette, like a shadow. But you see it, and I'm just like, it's literally a split second, but as soon as you see it, I'm like, oh my god, that's grim. That's brutal for a children's film, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another movie that sounds cooler because at the moment I've thought about what I've said, and I've said Grease and Shrek, and I was like,
Shrek. I'll give you Shrek, but
I'm not that cool. But I watch a lot of like Netflix and like shows like that.
Okay, so what's your go-to binge watch on Netflix?
Well, I always watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
I fucking love drag queens. And I met one the other day in the airport, an Australian drag queen called Molly Poppins. And yeah, I met her in the airport, and well, because I forced all my teammates to watch it as well. So now everyone's into drag queens and drag race, and everyone like says all the sayings and stuff at training. So love it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've never watched it, but I know that there's a big.
Oh, you need to.
I don't know.
You'd make a good drag queen. Yeah, you should dress up.
I'm saying nothing.
Can't knock it till you've tried it, you know.
I'll tell you about it after.
All right. Great.
What's your favourite song?
My favourite song?
Or favourite style of music?
Oh, I've got my favourite playlist that I've made. It's called The Greatest Playlist on the World, because In the World was taken. But it's all just like 50s, 60s rock. Like Little Richard, James Brown, like a bit of Elvis, like The Emotions, you know, Frankie Valli and Four Seasons, like just stuff like that. I love it.
That's class.
Just like something that you can like, something that you just like, I want to do this too. Like I'm not that cool, but like just something that you just want to like, yeah.
Everyone
that's it. So like 50s kind of like blues, like bluesy kind of rock.
Okay.
But like old.
You
should follow that playlist. It'll make your day. I'm telling you.
I'll send you playlists as well then. There you go.
There you go.
What's your favourite hobby away from rugby?
Hobby. Kind of changed a little bit. I like to like go. So I've got a four-wheel drive. I used to go to the like and four-wheel driving on the beach or in the bush a fair bit, like camping and that. Mm-hmm. There's less opportunities to do that here in Sydney. But like I like being outside. So like just going to the beach, going like swimming. I like playing. I just like music. Like I don't know, music.
Yeah, that's fine. Solid answers.
Yeah, I don't know what else is like a hobby. I think I used to play like the drums a fair bit, like a djembe drum.
Right. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got this egg shaker that everyone knows that I carry around with me everywhere. It's like my lucky egg. Not like in a Cool Runnings kind of way, but I guess kind of in a Cool Runnings kind of way. It's like a maraca egg though. It's not here. I could have got it for you. It's it is a maraca egg. I would take it out everywhere.
I don't know how you just managed to reference Cool Runnings so naturally, but fair play.
That's another classic. I should have put that on my list.
That is a classic.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest inspiration and why?
Oh, I always struggle with this question because it's never just one person, usually. But I think there's like little bits of everyone that I really like. But probably the first thing that came, the first person that came to my mind was Cathy Freeman for me, because that's probably the first, like watching her run 2000 Olympics and winning gold. That was probably the first moment that I realized or witnessed sport affect. Like I was sitting there watching her run, like the gold medal run, and my mum and dad were jumping up and down, screaming. I had a family friend over as well. Everyone was just fucking screaming at this TV, and I can't even remember. I'm not good at math. I don't know how old I was, but I was like, I would have been like 10 or 12, something like that. But I was just like, what the, like, why? I didn't really know what was going on. Like, obviously I understood how important it was, but I just was like, wow, sport really changes people or really affects people. Like, people are so invested in this. Like, we don't know this. I'm like, do we know this girl? Like, why do we like, but everyone just, really got around it. And I think like for me, that was inspirational. And obviously being, having Aboriginal heritage myself, Aboriginal ancestors, being an Aboriginal woman herself, and walking around with the flag just was something really special. And I just remember being really inspired in that moment, just because of how, I guess, everything that had gone on and just how she handled herself and just the way that she did it with such grace. And so probably Cathy Freeman.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
This one might get you into trouble. Depends on who.
Oh God, you're laughing already. What?
Queensland or New South Wales?
Oh no, fuck Queensland.
Ah, fuck. It doesn't matter.
Because well, it depends. If I'm playing, no, Queensland. I've born and bred there. Queenslander.
I was going to say Maroons or Blues just to test you, but it's Maroons.
Maroons always, unless I'm playing, then yeah, obviously whatever jersey I've got on.
Reds,
that's a the women's or the men's.
Whatever's going to give
Reds.
you a safer answer.
The Reds.
You won Super Rugby W with the Waratahs.
Yeah, but you gotta be. I don't know. I don't know. I think loyalty for me is big. I mean, I was born and bred there. I've lived there. I lived in Queensland for like 27. I'm an old man. I'm like 29, 27 years.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. And I love how you just.
So Reds. Stop making me feel bad.
I'm not making you feel bad.
You're making me feel guilty now.
If you played for only one team, the question wouldn't have been asked.
That's true. Yeah. No, it was that was pretty hard. Switching over just because they just made me captain as well. I was captain of the Reds there for that one season, and we didn't get to finish the season, and still because it got cut short. 2020, it got cut short.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and still to this day, like even the girls at Waratahs training, they're like, we would have smashed yous, and I stand there all my little onesies, and I'm like, nah, fuck, we had yous that year, like we would have won. The Reds would have beaten you, the Waratahs in that year. But anyway, I'm here now.
Yeah, I know you're winning.
But yeah, I love the Waratahs. I love playing down here at the Waratahs. Like it's something. It's a really special. No, I do. No, it's a really special group down here, and yeah. It's been I've had a really great time. It's a really great club.
You're going to love Exeter even more. They're proper,
nice.
Proper strong cohesion as well.
Yeah, it looks like that. It's funny how you can pick up vibes from teams just from like social media, and I think the girls have said it's really cool too as well. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Final question.
Yeah.
One thing you'd want to be remembered for.
On the footy field or just as a person?
Lori Cramer, how would you like to be remembered?
My work ethic. I'd want to be remembered for my work ethic. I'd want people to know that I gave it everything, that I was really passionate and gave it everything gave it my all, and that I was a good teammate.
I love it.
Have I just given you six? I've just given you 6 answers again. But like, if we were talking about a physical component, like obviously I'd like to be remembered for my kicking, and
the technique.
but yeah, my Wiggles guns, but probably my I guess work ethic, integrity maybe.
I love that. Well, You've absolutely smashed it. The laptop's now shut because there's no more questions. You've absolutely crushed it. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on and chat.
No worries. I've had a great time. Thanks so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
I'll think of some like things to say later on, or like a different movie that I love, and then I'll message you, and maybe you could put it in like the show notes down the bottom as well.
Was like she messages me back and turns out like Star Wars is his favorite or something like that.
Yeah, definitely not. That confuses the hell out of me. All that stuff.
I don't do Star Wars. Marvel, 100% yes. I love Marvel, but no. Have you watched Marvel in chronological order? I've watched in every order possible.
Yeah, I've now that I've watched it in order, like sequence, it was actually heaps better. Except I skipped Ant-Man 2.
No,
but and you know what? Obviously, I'm not being a spoiler because everyone should have watched it by now. But Ant-Man ends up being like the main guy, right? In the end game, like he ends up being like super important. Obviously, Iron Man too, but like Ant-Man ends up being the savior.
Yeah, he does. And that's not really. That's
And
not
I skipped out on Ant-Man 2, but I was just like, fuck Ant-Man 2.
Nah,
Need
to watch it to make it.
Okay,
It
maybe I'll watch it.
The whole film actually isn't needed. It's going to sound stupid, but the post-credit scene, it ties it all together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, well, fine. Maybe I'll watch it.
But
after I finish this season of RuPaul.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You'd be a good drag queen, that's all I'm saying.
we'll
now you're uncomfortable, yeah.
That's been the final whistle with Lori Cramer, and we'll see you next time.